This is Max Payne, and it wasn't a game, it was an experience. Rated M for Men. A fever dream of revenge, bullets, and pain wrapped up in a film noir nightmare. It didn't care about hand holding, Fortnite dances, and battle passes. It threw you into the snowstorm, gave you a gun, and told you to deal with it. And in 2025, somehow, it hits harder than a green chili burrito at that little taco stand you didn't want to stop at, but you only had $7. That's not here nor there. Let's get back into the gameplay.
It's a war zone down here. 1085 dispatcher, need additional units. Additional units now. Officer in danger. Officer in danger.
10-5, please repeat. 10-5.
They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger, and then it was over.
Not only Max, but the player is living a nightmare. But for us to understand how this all started, we must go back 3 years ago. This is where the nightmare starts.
Michelle, honey, anybody home? I didn't like the way the show started. They'd give me the best seat in the house, front row center. Listen, someone's broken into my house. Call 911.
Is this the Payne residence?
Yes, someone's broken into my house. They're still here. You have to...
Good. I'm afraid I cannot help you.
Who is this? Hello?
Michelle!
It's coming.
Freeze! NYPD, drop!
Coming! Get in! I'm gonna...
No, please, God, no.
The flesh of fallen angels!
No, God, no, please, Michelle. Oh, baby. That was 3 years ago. Everything ripped apart in a New York minute. The killer junkies had been high on a previously unknown designer drug, Valkyr, V. After the funeral, I told Alex I'd be transferring to the DEA. It took us 3 long years to get a break in the Valkyr case. Then, finally, 2 months ago, a dime dropper tipped us off that Jack Lupino, a mob boss in the Punchinello crime family, was trafficking. I went undercover, infiltrated the worst mafia family in New York.
Max Payne's story isn't just cold and oppressive. The whole damn city is a frozen crime scene. But did you know the entire game's setting is inspired by a real-life blizzard? In 1996, New York City was hit with one of the most crippling blizzards in history. Flights grounded, roads closed. The city was practically frozen in time. This gave the very team behind Max Payne's development, Remedy Entertainment, the spectacular idea of the snowy setting. Not only did the blizzard serve as inspiration for the team and the foundation of the game's setting, it also served as a technique to hide all the graphical issues the team was facing. On a constrained budget, why would you focus on all the things that the player would never see? Back then, we didn't give a shit if behind a building did not load or render. We just never went behind the building. Anything that wasn't beating the game was counterintuitive and just dumb. As I pointed out before, allowing the team to focus on more important things to the player, like storytelling, atmosphere, and gameplay, really allowed the game to shine. The team was inspired heavily by old John Woo films and also the newly released Matrix movie that came out just a few years before the game's release. From the press of a button, bullet time lets you open a can of whoop ass and choreograph the full chaos of pinpointing your shots on each enemy in the room as if you were literally in the Matrix yourself. Most games nowadays, they give you a break. They take it easy on you. They give you a chance to reload, regroup, and catch your breath. Not Max Payne. Here the nightmare never stops. The blood trail, the eerie baby cries, the voided darkness. It's not just humor, it's Max's reality, and also the players, as they force you to experience and relive the trauma again and again and again. His guilt and his punishment almost eats him alive. Max isn't just hunted by criminals in New York, he's hunted by his own past. Every nightmare sequence is another crack in his mind, another reminder that he'll never escape what happened. And as the player, you're stuck with him. You don't just witness his breakdown, you experience it. You live it.
When we found you snoring next to Lupino's corpse. A comedian, huh?
The pictures were filled with good old times.
Captain Baseball Bat Boys,
There was something disturbingly familiar about the letter before me. The handwriting was all pretty curves.
You're in a computer game, Max.
The truth was a burning green crack through my brain, weapon statistics hanging in the air glimpsed out of the corner of my eye, endless repetition of the act of shooting, time slowing down to show off my moves, the paranoid feel of someone controlling my every step. I was in a computer game. Funny as hell, it was the most horrible thing I could think of.
Don't lose it. It's Valk here. The drug. Snap out of it. Try to remember.
It was a bad line in a prank call, someone spouting insane babble. I couldn't make sense of it. But I had an overwhelming sense of deja vu, and the caller's voice sounded oddly familiar.
Even in 2025, Max Payne's psychological horror still cuts deep. It doesn't rely on cheap scares. It puts you inside the mind of a man unraveling, a man trapped in a cycle of guilt, grief, and violence, where every nightmare bleeds into reality. It asks, what if you could never escape your past? What if the real enemy was your own memories? Max Payne isn't just a game, it's an experience. A story that forces you to live through every broken piece of Max's mind. whether you want to or not. And even after all these years, it still leaves a mark. What do you think makes Max Payne still hit as hard after all these years? Was it the story? The gunplay? The atmosphere? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. And you should also consider subscribing if you love deep dives like this one in gaming classics.
Dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger.